Hey, I'd like to welcome everybody to the HBCU Coaches Corner. And I'm the co-host, Rocky Miller, along with my man, Steve Campbell. But the man you came to see is Coach, the SWAC legend himself, Johnny Cole. How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm doing great, Coach. I'm doing fine, man. Ready to start this fine show with the fine gentleman from those Prairie View Panther down there in Prairie View, Texas. So looking forward to that. Also, got a big announcement, but go ahead on and introduce Coach Campbell.
No, I just wanted to say, what's up, Bishop Campbell? What you got?
Hey, man, we are here, man. We are doing another great episode. And like I tell people, we don't hear things. We know things on this show because you about to know some things about Coach McDowell. See, we don't get that secondhand information, firsthand information right here, man.
That's right, Coach.
But before we get started with that, I'd like to give Coach Cole an opportunity to make what I would consider around these parts a huge announcement about where he's taking his talents. And so with no further ado, Coach Cole, I'll let you announce the big news. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, well, I've been doing this now 2 years, and this guy named AJ Johnson got me off the couch, man, and started this podcast thing. And after maybe about 6-7 months, he gave me my own show, which I didn't know if I was ready or not. But he put me in that situation. I want to first thank him. Second, I want to thank Rocky and his wife for getting involved with me into my show and wanting to do a show together, and then with Mr. Campbell coming in later on, just brought it to another level, guys. And because of that, and because of our following, I want to read this. It says, "Hi, Mr. Cole. Hope you're well. We have in this email a contract in the position of an analyst with your HBCU Gold TV. Football season. Please see your attached contract for your review. If you approve, please send email, which I've already done, and to confirm that will trigger a DocuSign for your execution."
Coach, Coach, I just wanted to say this. I know this show was big, with you being part of the game and your vast knowledge. This show was about you sharing your knowledge and giving your friends a platform and the people you work with over the years a platform to really express themselves and show off their skill sets and really just be a wealth of knowledge to the HBCU community. But this opportunity right here, Coach, is something for you, Coach, that gets you closer to the game that you love. And so what does this opportunity mean to you, Coach?
Well, one of the things I always thought, besides starting this show, is to broadcast HBCU head football coaches, coordinators, and coaches, period, because we don't have a stand like this. ESPN, they don't have a show for Black college coaches. These other sports shows, they don't have where we can sit up and talk about, our philosophies and our dreams and aspirations and about our young people that we coach. And so this is how all this started. And fortunate for me, again, one of the things that I've been preaching is, why don't we have more Black college coaches from Black college schools analyze Black college games? The NFL take care of their players. The NCAA, the college, the college conferences take care of their players, and those guys come back and sit and talk about the game. So I think I am the first right now and only Black college graduate, coach, player that actually is coming back to announce football games. Besides Coach Robinson, Coach Eddie Robinson was the first. Matter of fact, I had called him to ask him, for some pointers. So it's a very, very exciting time for me and my family. It's something I've just been, pushing to do, and one of the dreams, and of course you guys know, I'm not going to stop there, and I don't know what the future lies. This time around, Rocky, Mr. Campbell, I'm letting God lead my way, because I've had the head job I wanted. I married the one I wanted, and all that just didn't work out. You know, and as the old thing say, you want to make God laugh, playing your life out. And hopefully my life from here on out, God, you got it. I ain't planning nothing else. I'm just going to go with what comes my way. But again, I want to thank y'all too. I can't thank you guys enough. I can't thank AJ enough. And of course, my family support and our fans that turn on every week and watch this show.
Yeah, Coach, like I say, I know how much this opportunity means to you, and I just know you're gonna do well with it. I know you got a schedule that's coming out, and you're gonna be doing quite a few games, and I just can't wait to see you announce games on HBCU Go TV.
Tune in, baby, to HBCU Go.
Congratulations, Coach. Outstanding. I just want to say that. You know, it means so much for people like yourself to be able to analyze the game. And let's keep it. Can we just let's keep it real segment right here? Can we be honest? The majority of people that are doing color commentary in the game have no idea about SWAC or HBCU football.
That's right, Coach.
And that we lose something in translation when they don't know the history, the game, the speed of the game, and the players. So I'm just glad we got somebody who's going to be able, because again, as you well know, John Madden just didn't talk X and O's. He talked about football and history about the football and game. So, Coach, you're going to be able to bring that. So, man, I'm looking for you to be, like I say, not be the next John Madden, but the first Johnny Cole.
See, here's the example of that. You know, in HBCU football, Rocky, well, you might not know, there's going to be a penalty every homecoming because the band has to come out. They're going to take as much as time as they can, and the home team always going to get a flag. But when you're watching it from a TV standpoint, and the analysts don't understand that, he'll be like, whoa, it's a penalty already. What are they doing? They're starting back. Well, for me, I'll be like, oh, man, we ready to roll. It's a penalty, first of the game. That means the band is fired up, the stands are fired up, and we ready to play some football. So,
yeah, I think it's very important when we talk about someone announcing an HBCU game that is familiar with the culture and can relate what's actually going on the field and the pageantry around the game. They can convey that to not only, the fans that are watching. People who know HBCU football, they know what things are happening. Us people from the outside that's used to watching PWI football, or whatever y'all want to call it. Mr. Campbell calls it Confederate football, all that kind of stuff. But people who are used to watching that kind of football, we may not know some of the customs and traditions that exist in HBCUs. And it's good to have somebody who is familiar with it, who can relate, who can translate and kind of get us to understand what's going on.
Ain't no question, man. I'm so excited because not only are they bringing me on the analysts, they bring me on for my stories and what I know. And I'm saying you got to get a camera up there in the stands when the people walk around to see the fur coats and the double-breasted suits and the high heels and the patriotism of just the clothing people wear to come to the games. You got to shoot all that, if you really want to get deep into black college football.
Well, Coach, you being a Texas Southern guy, I believe you're familiar with our guests, because doing my homework and my research, I realized that our next guest actually coached like you did at your alma mater, Texas Southern University. I first was introduced who Coach McDowell was as a NFL football. Well, first a Miami Hurricane, then NFL football player, and then I was reintroduced to him when he was Prairie View's defensive coordinator. But with no further ado, I bring to you Prairie View A&M's head football coach, Bubba McDowell.
Coach! Coach!
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you just fine, Coach.
Okay, cool. How are you guys doing?
We're doing
Good,
well.
Coach.
We're doing well, Coach.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
I tell you, Coach, before we get started, I just got to tell folks, me and Coach met when he was in Houston, Texas. And you want to talk about a humble man and a humble person and approachable guy. I can remember the first time that I met him. And since I've been knowing him, how humble of a man as he is. Coach, you ain't swag, but you ain't swag. You've been in swag a long time. You my guy. But hey, Coach, I got to, and so, man, we so glad to have you in the conference. You paid your dues. You worked up at Prairie View and coaching HBCU football. And I'm pretty sure you could have went some other places because of who you are. You're very known as well in the NFL coaching community as well. And I want to thank you for taking your time to come out and give us a few words of Prairie View, because your fans been trying to eat us up, Coach. And I got the number one question. Any of y'all got anything to say? Coach, who's going to be the damn quarterback?
Well, right now, I can't tell you.
Y'all must in a secret society, Coach, because that's the same thing your fans are saying.
Let me just say this, Jay. It's a great battle right now.
Okay. They ate us up about, y'all ranked him number 2 because the quarterback we got is, y'all don't even know the quarterback. So, Coach Campbell, we hear it like, nobody know the quarterback yet.
Well, I can say this, though, Coach, is that there's no look of consternation on your face. Whatever the situation is, you're able to smile about it, which leads me to believe that it's okay.
It's okay. We're in a really good spot right now, and as you guys know, anytime you can get 3 different guys out there competing against one another again, which is what we wanted to see. Didn't know if it was going to happen, but believe me, they're definitely out there competing.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, Coach, you got some folks looking in the trees, through the fences, out there, some dark cars. And evidently they keep on making the wrong choice. They probably don't know who's who yet. So we don't heard several names.
They would know 31st though, for sure.
Yeah. Coach, go ahead, Coach.
No, I was going to ask him, will you announce the starter prior to the first snap of the football game, Coach? To the public.
Yeah. Be honest with you guys. Yeah, we will. Again, we'll know going into that last week, 25th again when we break, and then prior to getting ready on 26th, that Monday, getting guys ready to go. We'll know by then who has taken over that top spot. Hopefully again we'll know even maybe 2 weeks before, but again we'll definitely know for sure who's going to be that guy going into week 1 against Texas Southern.
Now, Coach, how many of you guys you got coming back on offense and defense? Are you reloading or are you
rebuilding? We're reloading. We lose a lot of guys. You mean coming back this year or coming
back? Just coming back, on the team.
Yeah, we unfortunately, again, we're gonna have to rebuild. We got some young guys that's we know is gonna step up. Right now at the linebacker spot, at some D-line spot. And again, that's where we're losing a lot of guys at. Offensively, we got some young bucks coming back. Secondary, we're pretty young, but again, for the most part, we're heavy senior. So again, we're gonna have to go back out, hit that portal and as well as these high schools, and find some good players.
Now, Coach, when you first took over the job, I want to say that didn't you win the West?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So and I thought that. So tell me, when you took over that team, where you were compared to where you are now in your 3rd year.
Yeah, we were still learning, still getting to know one another. Again, trying to build a different culture around here with these young guys, young men. As I told them, from day one, when I took over this job, having to learn from some previous coaches that were here, Coach Dooley, Coach Simmons, Coach Northern, again, who brought me in, it took a minute for me to actually, say to myself, are you ready to do this job? And as God would have it, it was the perfect timing for me to go ahead and say, hey, you know what? Let me see if they're gonna give me this job if I apply for it. And again, we did that. And again, now we're just in the process. From the time I started to where we are right now, we're steady getting better each year. And again, as you guys know, this is where you want to be. You want to continue to prove each and every year, with players, hopefully get you back, to where to that successful season that you had previously. And again, 2 previous seasons we've been pretty successful to play in the championship game. Again, didn't have the outcome wasn't what we hoped, but again, we went out. Coaches went out, did what they need to do to hit that portal, get some high school guys that we thought, that we voted on, that we discussed, and say, hey, you know what, this guy can definitely come in and help us. And that's where we are. That's where we are right now.
Yeah, Coach, you've been having some great seasons, and the thing that I like about your coaching style is it seems like you keep things close to the vest. You ain't really wide open on offense. You ain't bringing a lot of pressure on defense. Just for you, is somebody you modeled yourself behind? Is somebody that you confide in, that you talk to about the game? Because I love your smooth ways, and you don't lose control. You and your team though, because you beat Texas Southern twice, my school at the end.
Yeah.
So one game you only threw the ball one time. Can you believe that, Coach Campbell? One time. But it was so smart. You know why he threw it one time, Coach? It rained like hell.
Yeah.
So listen, you're a thinking guy. And I love it, Coach. I love your style.
Coach, I'd like to ask you a question. This is kind of a little off subject, but I'd like to get this out the way. I'm a big NFL football fan, and I remember those order teams in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you were teammates with Coach Robinson over at I believe you were teammates with Coach Dishman over at TSU.
Yes, sir.
Anything that happened or with that experience that prepared you guys for being head coaches or a career in football?
For me, I think for sure. Again, not for me personally. I always said there was something that I would never do for us coaching, because again, I knew the hours that coaches put in, and I've always said once I'm done with this game, I would not do it. And it's funny, I actually went into training, right after my career was done. Went into training guys, getting them ready for the NFL, and some guys for colleges. But being there with the Oilers, I really believe, even to this day, the things that I've seen and saw with Nick Saban teaching me about different philosophies, different techniques. Because you guys know he's the DB guy. Coming in after Chris Dishman, who also took me under his wing. Him and Richard Johnson, those guys taught me a whole lot as a rookie. And they were like, hey, man, you just got to go out there and play your game, And I was competing with Quentin Jones at the time, for the starting job, as a rookie, scared, didn't know what to do. And I remember one day that, one game, should I say, in Chicago, and Nick Saban told me at the end of the game, he said, look, son, Jerry Glanville was about to take you off the field and not play you anymore. And I told him that, hey, you know what? Let him stay in. He's going to make some plays. He's going to do something. And sure enough, I end up causing a fumble. That second half, I end up knocking down a big play, recovered a fumble. It all happened all in one, once in the second half, And again, it was one of them things that he told me, like, things gonna go wrong, but you got to learn how to forget it. You got to learn how to come back, and play football that we know you're capable of playing, And again, teammates that I had throughout those years taught me the same thing. I truly believe that before I left there, the Oilers and went to Carolina in the first 2 inaugural seasons, 95 and 96, those guys were, I think, probably I was closer to those guys more than anybody. Because again, we was like a family. We did a lot of things together, and this is the same thing I'm trying to instill to these young men here. Again, you got to have each other in order to win championship game. You got to be able to play for each other to win championship game, and that's where we are right now.
Coach, I want to turn to, I think you play a little bit possum. So, Coach, I'm going to go back. Talk to me. First of all, you've got 7 players that Phil still has on his all-SWAC team. So that's some talent right there, Coach. And you also brought, from what I saw, and I'm pretty sure you might have brought in more, 16 transfers. So let's talk about the players that you brought in, and also kind of talk about your philosophy, transfers versus high school recruits, because you are in such a powerhouse state where now you got players because of transfer portal that, Coach, you might have the opportunity to say, hey, come to Prairie View and play, because they're not getting opportunities at all the other schools in Texas. Kind of talk about that and your players that you brought in.
Yeah, I mean, again, we brought in Lucas Cooley, again, transfer from U of H by way of Arkansas, quarterback. Again, one of those guys that's competing for the job. Cam Peters, we had Cam here once before. We was recruiting him out of high school. Then he left, and then we, went back to UIW, I think it was, and and then we brought him back when the time is right. So again, we needed a quarterback. We knew he was a local kid, and we wanted to get him because again, we wanted him really bad at that particular time, but again, we just couldn't get him in because of different great issues at that particular time. Jaden Johnson, Ole Miss bounced back. Wendy Jones, won championships there. Could sling the ball, throw the ball. Didn't get a chance to participate last year against the first game against Texas Southern. So he ended up not playing that whole season, guys, due to grades that he had to get, that he had to get done before he can even play this year. And again, went out and got, a couple of guys, from different areas. Now, again, when we're talking about, you asked me about, transfer portal guys and high school guys, I'll be the first to tell you, I would love to build off high school guys. I really would love to. If it was my way, that's the way I would go. Because again, now I'm getting these guys early. I'm getting them young. Now I can teach them. We can teach them the way we want to be, the way we want to teach them. So again, that they can go out, and help us win. But as you guys know, with the portal, that is not the case. It's a win now, no league, all across from top to bottom. So again, you're gonna have different guys at different points of the time, going in that transfer portal, like you said, because they're not playing, unhappy. So again, we got to be able to what? Now, as I tell my guys, we got to be able to recruit our guys, to stay, not go anywhere, as well as going out recruiting guys that are in that portal. But we got to make sure that if we're going to that portal, as I told them, we got to make sure that these are kids that we need specifically. If not, if we know that we got a high school kid that we know that is going to be a good one that we can develop at a certain position that we know we can kind of sit him down and wait a little bit, that's the route we're going to go.
Now, is it true, Coach, that the kid that you had at quarterback ended up leaving and going to Miles?
Yeah, we had a McDowell kid here. Yeah, we sure did. He came in from Montana, where he won the championship. Montana State, I think it was, won the championship there. He's the kid out of Spring as well. Thought we had him set, ready to go, but due to the NIL money, you're like, hey, Coach, I got to call McNeese, and I said, no, don't call him. I knew as soon as he called him, it was going to be over. And I was begging guys for him not to call, but sure enough, he said, yeah, I want to give him a call. And sure enough, as it would be, he had made that call, and man, they offered him more money, the NIL money, and he left here and went there.
Mm.
Hey, Coach, as a Texas guy, I understand how fertile the landscape is in football. I once watched Willie Simmons in an interview say this, Coach. He says when his Florida guys go to other places, right?
Yeah.
And they've shown a little interest in Florida A&M, but they end up going to maybe Michigan State, maybe Louisville, maybe North Carolina. He says he keeps his eyes on those guys, so if they come back in the portal,
absolutely,
he offers them a free trip back home. Is that something that you deploy also as you watch kids from the Houston area or Texas altogether go other places and then try to lure them back with a trip coming back home?
Absolutely, and I started doing that even with Coach Norton, because there were some places that we can go in that we was able to go in, but not able to talk to the top guys. They were bringing in the room only the guys they wanted you to talk to. And I'm like, and I remember I got into one high. I said, well, let me talk to this dude. We know this dude's a 3-4 star. Now, coach, he's not coming there. I said, okay, well, let me just talk to him anyway. There may be a point in time where he may go somewhere and not be happy. He's a home state kid. He may remember this conversation that he and I had. As I always tell him, and tell the coach, I say, guys, when you're out there recruiting, talk to everybody you can, because right now, you don't know if that kid's going to go there, if he's going to be happy with the 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year. You don't know. So let's build a relationship, not only with high school kids, but, kids, just in the state of Texas alone, you can build a championship team with these type of athletes here. So it would behoove us to make sure that we are somewhere, where we're talking to the top-notch guys, talking to the 1, 2, 3, 4-star guys as well, because, again, it's all about building relationships. And that's one thing Nick Saban, told me a long time ago. Again, it's about building a relationship with whoever it is that you're trying to get, that you want to be part of your staff, whether it be a coach or whether it be a high school kid, you want to be part of that team. Build a relationship to where, that kid is happy, the parents are happy. You got to get to know whoever that kid's handler is, and, and make sure that they know who you are, because, again, you all know with the new portal now going on, and things can happen very fast. They can get up there and say, hey, you know what? Boom, I don't like it. And again, we're talking about now with the new league, with the new rule where everybody, FBS guys can go to 105, and now, shoot, you may get some of them kids, that got money on scholarship, but all of a sudden they get there and they're 3, 5-star, 3, 4-star guys that are not happy. So now, have we made contact with these young men along the way? And if so, hey, let's continue to do that. Even, again, when they get in the portal, you call them and say, hey, you know what, you remember me? And some of them do. And that's why I say, again, it's very important that you build that relationship early so they know who you are. And a lot of times, guys, as you know, these kids remember. If you have set a good standard with talking with these kids during recruiting time, they're going to remember who you are.
Yeah. Coach, year 3. Man, you went from assistant coach, coordinator, you're sitting at year 3. I always said as a coach, and, I've had most of my success in year 3. How you feel? You know where the rest of you met? You know who's who? You've been kind of knowing some alumni because you've been there. I guess that's one of the difference, man. You're coming in, everybody is picking you guys because of you, because you've been in there. The way you have won, you're steady. How does Coach Bubba McDowell feel where you are with this football team?
I feel really good, guys, right now. Again, I'm very happy with what we have done as a coaching staff, going out, getting the young men that we need, that we think and know that's going to help this team defensively, offensively, and special teams. And all, as you guys know, all 4 units that plays a pivotal part in winning games and winning championships. We wasn't that good last year in, special team, but I really believe the guys that we went out and got, as we were looking at these young men, and I told them, I said, as you guys looking at these guys, scouting these young men, see if they place any type of special teams, because this is what we're gonna need to help us win a lot of games this year. As God would have it, this is, it fell right in our hands. A lot of these kids that we recruited played a lot of special teams, and played it well. aside from their normal position that they play. So I'm feeling really good right about now. I'm feeling really happy with, what we have at this point. But again, Johnny, you guys know it ain't about us. As I tell them, these guys, it ain't about us, because all we can do is coach you, put you in position to make the plays. You guys got to go out there and do the job and do the work.
Yeah, I got to ask you, Coach. Man, you don't beat my Tigers too many times. All right, we're in the third quarter. Y'all down, Coach.
Yeah.
You down.
Yeah.
All right, you down, I think 30-17.
Real close, yeah, something like that.
Okay, well, I'm in Texas Southern spot. Texas Southern says, by what I seen at the game, we got them down. Now we great kill a gnat with a hammer. We gonna throw this ball every day. You over on the sideline or coming out of halftime like, whew, where were you at? What was your thinking? Because, Coach, y'all came back like a thunderstorm.
Again,
I remember that game?
I do, Coach. Again, it was again. I wasn't nervous or anything. Again, because I knew the kids that we had, I knew the talent that we had, I knew the type of attitude that we had. Again, it was all about coming out of that locker room and getting out there and executing plays. We was executing, trying to execute plays. We were running plays, but we wasn't executing to the point where it was in our favor as we did that second half. And then, like I told him as a guy, the game is not over. Been in many situations like that as a pro. I've been in many situations like that as a college guy at Miami. Been in many situations like that, even in Pop Warner. So me just trying to get them to understand that you play 4 quarters of football, and if you do that and you execute the plays that you are taught and told to do, again, you're going to be that guy. You're going to win. And John, I always tell these guys too, look, guys, schemes and is everything. Yeah, we can do schemes. You guys know the X and O's all day long. But I don't give a crap if you can beat that guy across from you, and I tell them this every day, because we compete out here. I say, if you beat that guy 95% of the time, bro, I don't give a crap what scheme it's called. You got to block him or you got to run that route. You got to be better than him 95% of the time throughout the course of that game. And if you do that, I think we'll win a whole bunch of games. And again, they believed it. They came out. We started executing plays, and we started coming back. And that's all we're gonna ask.
Did you notice that they just kept trying to throw the ball? Did you notice? Did you? Because they were averaging 10 yards of rushing, 10 yards of carry. And I was like, wow, okay, they're gonna come out and slow the game down and run out the back door, with the victory. But they came out and threw it. I want to say almost 30 times in the second half.
They did, and again, but we started shutting the run down a little bit better than we did that second half. And I'm gonna be honest, as I always tell my guys, I'm very transparent. And again, during the course of the game, our secondary wasn't that great. It really wasn't.
Okay.
You would think, you would think they would continue to throw that thing down there to, with the type of receivers that they had. Again, like I told the D-line as a guy, you got to give our guys in the backfield some help somehow, some way. And that's the only way you're going to do that is through pressure. And then we started changing up. Coach Rock started changing up, doing a lot more pressures on them that second half, which worked out in our favor.
Right. Well, Coach, you talked about recruiting. Y'all got one of the best facilities in HBCU football.
Yes,
How much does that facility help you guys? And I know the campus life, because I went to Texas Southern and was able to have some campus life up there with Prairie View and knowing how does that stadium kind of help your recruits? Are they surprised when they come?
Absolutely, Jay. I mean, it is. They are, whether it be the parents, whether it be the kids themselves. I've always told guys, even alumni, sometimes, and coaches, I said, guys, let's just get them on campus. If we get them on campus, I think we got them. We got them. We're gonna have a real good shot at getting them. And sure enough, just amazing to me still to this day. When kids and parents come, they're like, wow. We had no idea that you guys had that Prairie View looked like this. You know, 'cause one thing we do know when you come into PV, yeah, it's gonna be manicured. Everything's gonna be cut. You know, the grass is gonna be low. It's gonna be very, very nice when you get here on campus. So again, we can get them on campus. We feel that we got a really good chance of securing them.
Coach, my daughter's a senior. Will be a senior at Prairie View this upcoming year. Matter of fact, her roommate is one of your trainers, Davian. All right. So, but my question is this, Coach. With the combination of academic excellence, football facilities, and living accommodations at Prairie View, does that put y'all above the fray in the SWAC when it comes to recruiting?
I would say back early when there was no transfer portal, no NIL, yes. Now, no. So it is all about they may love the facility, but again, it's about what you can give me. That's what it's about. I'm being honest.
But Coach, let me ask you this, Coach, because I hear coaches say that all the time about players want. Does playing time matter anymore, Coach?
I'm honestly, I'm trying to figure that out myself. I really am. I'm at a loss with that because the first thing come out the mouth is when you talking to them, you trying to recruit them, and you laying it on. What you got for me, Coach? I was like, huh?
Wow.
What you got for me? I was like, oh, wow. What do you mean? What I got for you? Well, I was off with this, I was off with that. Forgot about all those shots, those photos they took, the campus tour that they took. It's now about, Coach, what you got for me?
Wow.
Because I think more than ever now that the situation that a kid goes into matters. You can be compensated well NIL, but if the guy in front of you or there's tremendous depth at that position, you could be compensated well. You could be a well-compensated bench player. And At the end of the day, even back when I was a kid and I was playing in college, playing time really was at the top of the deal. I know guys who had opportunities to go to Oklahoma and the University of Texas and whatever, but they elected to go to places like Tech, TCU, and Baylor for opportunities to play. And I was wondering if you guys could offer that to kids as a added bonus, an opportunity to play. But you kind of answered that question. They want that money.
They still want the money. But again, at the same time, when we are recruiting, I always tell my guys, when we go recruit a guy, and then when that kid comes in on a visit, we give him that opportunity to start, to take somebody's position. And I tell my guys, and they'll be the first to tell you, every year we're starting over. Who's going to win that position? Just because you was a starter last year don't mean you're going to be that starter this year.
Yeah, Coach, Prairie View got big alumni now. Big alumni. They love their sports up there. I know recently your home games ain't been as crowded, and I don't know why, but I know they got major support. Have they gotten together, or have you had a chance to speak with them about saying, look, if we want to be able to compete and stay at this level, we're gonna have to get into the paying business, to the NIL business. I mean, if you want to survive, have you had a chance to do that, or what you think about that?
Yeah, we've talked to several guys that have stepped up and put some money up for some guys to help us get the guys we got in right now this year. And again, it's a constant education part on my behalf of educating our alumni. And then they've been being taught, or should I say, they've been asked, by other alumni to pitch in and help out with NIL money, because again, as you said, this is the new norm now. Kids want to come in, they want to be paid, whether it be a stipend, a collective or individual, taking care of certain guys with the NIL deal. So yeah, we're still on the verge of getting more and more information out to our alumni as much as possible. Because again, in order for us to compete, with schools that are across the road, and the ones that we're going to be able to see again and again, the first game every year, the one that you used to coach at, that you won championship. We got to compete with those guys. We got to compete with Alabama State. We got to compete with McNeese and all these guys, Sam Houston, that are in-state guys. In order for us to even have a chance, we're gonna have to put a big collective together, so we know when we go out and recruit a kid, we can say, hey, you know what? This is what we got. This is where we are. And let that kid make that decision from there.
Coach, you got the Labor Day Classic. Now we've talked to Coach Chennisberry, Coach Eddie, Coach Mickey Joseph, of course yourself, and you play a big game too, which is the Labor Day Classic.
Yes, sir.
So our question was, we were talking about what could get a coach up out of there. And do you believe that? Let's just say you had some winning seasons, which you've had, but keep losing that Labor Day Classic, or be winning and losing Labor Day Classic every year, or in the middle of season and winning that Labor Day Classic. Which one do you think you rather be? Winning that Labor Day Classic and having a mediocre season, or going 8-3 but losing that classic every year?
Ooh, boy, that's a great one. That's a great. I don't know if I want to answer that one. you put me on the spot with that one, Jay. I don't know if I want to answer that one. That's a tough one there.
Hey, look, you got to win that body classic. I mean, you got to win that Labor Day Classic.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, that's the first thing everybody say. Okay, I don't care what happens. You better beat TSU. You better beat TSU. I said, okay.
Well, Coach, I'm gonna help you out, Coach. This is what you tell them. Say, I gotta win that game because that's a conference game, and that propels us to the division championship. So we always want to win that game. That's what you tell them, Coach. Absolutely. That's what you tell them. So you get you win that game, and then that puts you up in the division already.
Tell them you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance to win the conference if you lose to TSU.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
And that's what. And it's funny you say that because again, that's what I try to tell our guys to do. We got to get out and get going early. Every year. If you lose that game, it's going to be very hard in the SWAC, to get back, to where you're going to be in contention to play for the Western, possibly championship.
It puts you back 2 games because you gotta hope they lose a game, and then you gotta beat the team that they lose to. That's the only way you can jump back in there.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to go. You talk about starting the schedule off the bat, having to start fast, playing in a meaningful game, the first game of the season. That's not typical for most college football teams, right? Yeah. But that's typical for TSU and Prairie View. Mm-hmm. How does that impact leading up to the season when you have almost what you guys probably consider a must-win game right off the bat?
Yeah, it's a big impact. And again, as we try to tell the kids, make the kids known, like, hey, Texas Southern, Prairie View, first game, conference game, we got to win. As John said, again, it puts you back if you don't win those 2 games. So it's very important that that we win this game. Not only this game, but other games after that as well. But for the most part, like you said, this game is so important because again, it's a conference game, And again, I'm gonna be honest. That's why I hate playing this game the first game. I really do, because again, as you know, Jay, it doesn't matter what kind of athletes you have on each team. It's gonna be a battle. And go ahead.
I'll give you the history. When I came to Texas Southern in '81, one school you don't lose to is Prairie View. Well, every year, my first 3 years, every year, TSU and Prairie View would be in last place. And they used to call it the mud bowl or the toilet bowl.
Yes.
And we didn't have, a lot of people come to the game but things are different. We had about 10,000 to come to the game. They had about 9, you know what I mean? Of course, now it's a little bit bigger than that. And so what happened, they took the game because both teams was always on the losing end. They moved it to the first game. So in 1985, I played in the first Labor Day Classic when it started. And we ended up beating Prairie View 19-6. And that just kind of started. Have you I don't like it. I know you don't like it, Coach, if you could get that change. Now that both schools are, it's a different era. You got Prairie View up and winning, won the West, 1 or 2 chances. Do you think maybe, and I know I'm not putting this on your plate because I know that's an athletic director, head coach, president. Would you want that game to be back at the end or maybe somewhere in the middle? And I think they would still get the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because again, just so much pressure with that game being the first game and knowing that, you gotta win it. Because again, as you said earlier, if you don't, it's gonna put you back 2 games. Then now you gotta hope somebody else will lose, hope this team lose, and all that. But again, I'd rather start off with somebody soft, and kind of get into the
maybe about 2 games down, maybe 2 games down.
I agree. Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Just
Johnny,
the case one.
Well, Coach Cole, as you over there politicking, they done played them at the beginning of the year. They done played them at the end of the year. TSU ain't won a game in over 10 years, Coach.
Yeah.
So I don't think it matters when Prairie View plays TSU at this point. It all gets the same outcome.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, go ahead. No, go ahead, Coach Cole. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
I just wanted to shift gears because, Coach, before I let you go, I want to ask you a question. I'm a big fan of yours, but, Coach, you were part of, like I like to say, for the culture. Your Miami Hurricane team was right. We were around the same age. Georgetown basketball, Miami Hurricane football, UNLV running Rebels, the Fab Five. Did you guys really realize, as they say, you guys were Black America's team during those times, the 80s? Because I came from Jackson, Mississippi, so I was in the SEC. But I was a Miami fan because you guys looked like us. You played like us. When we played, as they say, on the playground. And you guys were the first team where it was about speed. It was about finesse. It was about having athletic ability, almost like basketball players. Did you guys, as you even playing during that time with all those tremendous players that you played with during that 4-year period? And I want to say this too. We're talking to one of the greatest special team players of all time. And I'm not making this up. Coach ESPN said this. Do you sit back and realize and explain to your players that you all did not have the best facilities, but it was about the hard work that you all did, and that you really understood how big you were for the coach? Did you really realize that either as playing and now as you look back at it, you and your teammates?
Absolutely. Again, you're absolutely right. Yes, we did, because we had those type of egos on our team. Yes, we did. Because again, when we got to the situation where we won that first championship, we was in my sophomore year when they won against Nebraska. They won against Nebraska.
Yeah.
Turner Gill, Mike Rozier, those guys. Yeah.
That's when it started clicking for the University of Miami. And again, of course, when Jimmy Johnson got in there, and and we're at practice and we're competing, we're going back and forth. Alonzo Heisman, Vinny Tersford, all those guys. We had dudes again, first, second, third, fourth, was battling, and those guys knew. First guys knew, second guys knew. If a third guy got in there, fourth guy, you might not get your job back. That's how good we were, and that's how deep we were. And they knew that. And again, after that, and once we started, really, really understanding, what, this is our city. When we was going out, at the end of the season, and when we started getting on that winning streak, and we was getting in the club before the Miami Dolphins we knew we have arrived.
Yeah, hey, look, y'all was the first Deion Sanders. What's the booty man? The guy to get
Luke.
They had the stars before it was stars, Coach.
I'm sure Luke wouldn't appreciate you calling him the booty man.
Yeah, Luke.
This podcast, Coach.
Yeah, but again, I try to instill that to these young men, that same type of culture. I just tell them that yesterday. Look, I was getting on them dude, when are you guys going to understand how good you are? And you got to do this thing consistently. I said, there's one thing we did at Miami. We did it consistently. Again, I know everybody's not going to like each other. You know, you're going to be out here competing. You're going to fight. It's football and all that. But at the end of the day, there's enough guys on this team from the first to the third right now that can easily step in, take over a spot, only if they knew what they was doing. And that's one thing I loved about Miami. That, again, is what I was taught, you know, just by looking and observing, you know, as a freshman coming in, not playing a whole lot, sophomores kind of sort of in and out. You know, we ran a lot of cover 2 back in those days. So I was more of a boundary corner, you know, because I was more physical than the field corner, which was at that, you know, at Jay, we know, is the cover guy. So I try to instill all these, giving these guys all kind of stories how we did it back in those days. So hopefully, you know, at some point it will sink into them as well. Like, hey, you know what? We got these same dudes on this team right now. Now, how can we put it together? You know, like Coach McDowell has asking us to do. But one thing I do know, the reason why we were so successful, because we knew what to do. Because again, as I tell them all the time, if you know what to do, you can play fast all day long, and you're going to be pretty successful. When you're out there thinking and wondering what you're going to do and not how you're going to do it, you're going to play slow. And you guys know that. So I'm trying to get them out of that mode and more into, hey, you know what, get in the study room, know what you're doing. Put it out there on the field during practice, and let's go put it together, you know, as one unit, you know, come Saturday or Friday, whatever team that we're playing for 4 quarters of football. That's what we did. We played 4 quarters of football. I just tell them, I said, dude, it's one thing we knew come game day, when we got out there on the field at Miami, pregame, we had the game won. We didn't play it down, but we in our mind, we had the game won.
Now, Coach, I'm going to say one thing. I told you I'm a big fan of yours. Now, I'm going to tell you how big a fan I am because I'm getting ready to tell on these 2 jokers. Now, we had to do our preseason predictions. You know the one guy that picked you, number 1? This guy, me. This guy, because, Coach, let me tell you, and I want you to ask these guys, and I'm going to tell you what I like, Coach. And this is what, and you tell me if I'm wrong or expound on it. I like the consistency of what you're bringing to your team. I see a toughness. I see even through last season that your defense wasn't where you wanted it to be far as holding people down, but they made plays when they need to make plays. And that's kind of that Miami thing that I saw. So I see that continuation coming into this year where you have now laid a championship foundation. Hey, guys, we should always be number 1. We should be playing for SWAC championships and things like that. So, Coach, going into the season, because we got a lot of Prairie View fans, and, Coach, when I say they have come out the woodwork saying this is their year, now I'm a FAMU guy now, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm a FAMU guy. So I understand when you feel it's your season. What do you tell the fans that what you built, like and Coach Cole said, this third season where you got the guys and they know the Prairie View program, they know the McDowell way. What do you think about and what do you tell your fans out there, Coach, what you're going to do this year?
Again, this year we're expecting to do a whole lot. And again, because of where we've been, where my first year as a head coach to where we are right now, I truly believe that we have improved offensively. We have improved defensively. I think, and more importantly, we have improved special team wise. As you know, I said earlier, you know, I think that was one of our weakest spots was special team. You know, even though I thought we had the guys to do it, but for some reason they didn't do it the way we anticipated them do it. But I do believe that this year they understand, like, hey, you know what? I got that guy behind me to the left. I got that guy over here to the right of me. I got the guy in front of me. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, he's going to be that next guy in there getting that job done. We got to be consistent. Go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I just said no. We just got to be consistent in what we're doing this year. You know, and I'll be the first to tell you, man. You know, they are doing just that. Did it take some time to do it to get them to where I want them to mold them to how, you know, I want them to think, you know, 4 quarters of football? Absolutely. Is it perfect? No, it ain't perfect right now, but it's way better than where we were 2 years ago.
Well, to get my tickets back and my sideline passes, Bo, when I heard you lost your quarterback, this cat up here, Florida A&M guy, I just like, oh, man, that's tough.
Yeah.
You know, guys know the system, y'all ready to roll. I'd have picked y'all first. You know, but when the news got out that you lost him, I said, well, one thing about Coach, he keeps things close to the vest. He gonna let defense win games, and his biggest thing is not turning the ball over. Coach, I ain't even heard you say that, but I've seen your football team, man, and that's a great philosophy in this conference. Don't turn that ball over. Let the defense win and do what you can do.
Yeah, because again, at the end of the day, John, man, the snap or down or quarter, things can change real quickly in the SWAC, and again, as these guys have watched film and over the last 2 years and 3 years for some, for others, they understand that SWAC is a conference that that can change rapidly, so we got to be ready to go. As I told them last year, when we was picked, not I think 8th last year, I said, don't worry about all that ranking. I promise you, we're gonna be where we need to be at the end of the year. Of course, we went to FAM, lay the egg, and then I told a couple of guys that was there. I said, matter of fact, Coach Henry, I said, don't worry about it. We'll be back. We'll be back. It's okay, yeah. And they kind of shaking my hand like, okay, sure you will. I said, we're gonna be back. I promise you, we'll be back here in this championship. And I again, just letting the guys know that I had that much confidence in them to get back. And as we got on that plane and we left, we landed, it was that same mentality. I was like, guys, stay the course. We will be back in this position again. Of course, did we have to have some help? Absolutely. But again, that also says, you know what? When that help comes, you got to take full advantage of it.
Coach, real quick, and we'll follow up on that. You brought in a new OC, Coach Whedon. What are you looking for him to do for your offense and to, make it a little bit more dynamic and things like that? What are you looking for, Coach Whedon, and also to work with your quarterbacks?
Yeah, again, just to move the ball. We want to move the ball. We want to be fast, but we want to be consistent, in what we do out there. It's a new offense, guys still learning. Picking it up, they're picking up way better than I thought they would, and again, I say that because, again, we're out there competing, and again, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be lost in this offense, and you're not going to be able to compete. But they're doing just the opposite. They're in the film room, they're learning, they're doing what Coach Whedon asked them to do. We've been having some battles. He throwing some stuff at the defense that we've never seen before, and it's confusing them. So we're like, you know what, this is a good thing, because again, we may see this at some point during the year. So it is great to see him coming in, doing that chaos type offense, what he call it, a lot of movement. So again, it gives us a chance defensively, to check in and check out a lot of different things. Coach Rock has done a great job with this defense. Again, we talked about earlier, reason why we are successful, because again, we know what we're doing. We keeping it simple so they can play fast.
Mm-hmm. Well, it would be remiss, Coach, if I don't talk about the state fair. Al Wash Production, who's a great friend of mine. That's another big, huge game there, Coach.
Yeah,
and we will be there that Monday at the press conference. Last time me and you got a chance to talk, and I just want to let you know we'll be back there. Our show will be there. We definitely, just want to touch bases with you. And also, I'm putting it in your pocket. We want to try to catch you when you get off the bus as you approaching the game for about 2 or 3 minutes. I know you'll be in game mode, about 2 or 3 minutes. Give us what your thoughts and probably where you are at that year. So I'm ahead, Rocky. So we already know when they see our faces.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Coach, I just wanted to walk down your schedule for a minute and just give me your thoughts on your schedule as I kind of walk it down for the fans. You guys start off with Texas Southern in the Labor Day Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to Northwestern in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Then you play that money game.
Yep.
In
big money game.
Mississippi State.
Yeah.
I mean, not Mississippi State, Michigan State. My bad,
Michigan
State. Yeah. Now, Coach, you play them in September, so I think they were smart. You're gonna probably have pretty decent weather in Michigan that time of year on September.
Yeah.
Then,
great weather.
And this is kind of the stretch I wanted you to kind of talk about before heading into what I would consider mid-season. You have Southern at home, and you have Grambling at the State Fair Classic.
Correct.
How do these two games factor into what your overall season will become this year?
Big factor again. Graham, conference game again. I'm sorry, Texas Southern and Graham, both conference games. We got to win. Those are games that we have to win. To be in position, where we want to be at this particular time during mid-season. And I told guys, we talk about the schedule from TSU to Michigan State. Then we come back play Southern, as you said. These guys know what the schedule is. They know what they have to do to get ready for this schedule. Now, it's about going out and executing, what we know that we're capable of doing, even against Michigan State. Like I said, guys, I know they're Michigan State. I know they're Northwestern. They probably think they just playing another SWAC school. As I have mentioned many times over and over, I want guys that want to compete, because at the end of the day, I want them to understand that we're not just another SWAC football team. I want them to understand that we're football players as well. Too many times when you play a big team like this, big schools like this, they look at you, as just another SWAC team, team or SWAC conference. I'm like, guys, look, I get it. They're Michigan State. They're big. I get it. Hey, but we're way bigger. We're way stronger, faster than we were last year as well. Now, how are we going to go out there and compete with these guys? Again, that's all on you. As coaches, we're here to put you in position to make plays, and if we go out there and do what we're supposed to do, not looking past Texas Southern, not looking past Northwestern. But again, you a lot of you say, or upset about, oh, I should have been an FBA. Oh, I should have been here. Okay. Prove it right now where you should be at. And again, if we do that, coming off a good game against more important, healthy game against Michigan State, and get ready for Southern, and then get ready for Graham right after that. These two games are huge going into that mid-season. Now, where we're going to be sitting at.
Now, one of the things I pointed out these two games, because there's a couple things in common. Both these games are played in Texas, but both of these games will be played against first-year head coaches in the SWAC. Yeah. And with, even though Terrence Graves has extensive experience in the SWAC as assistant coach, and then Coach Joseph also, who was on the show last week, he's also coached in the SWAC. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, your program should have an advantage over those two programs, for the simple fact, when you talk about just stability and moving forward. So then you guys go to San Antonio and play in Coordinated Word. Then you could continue on the road to Arkansas Pine Bluff. Arkansas Pine Bluff has struggled in recent memory. Yeah. And I suspect you guys will go there and get a victory. And then there's that vaunted huge distraction game. And I'll let you talk about this game a little bit. It's homecoming against a non-SWAC, non-HBCU school, Texas A&M Commerce. How will that affect, this environment? Because I guess HBCU schools are really used to playing other SWAC or other HBCUs for homecoming. How will you prepare for this game coming up against Texas A&M Commerce, not being an HBCU school and being homecoming? Yeah,
I'm fine. We're gonna approach every game as the same, whether they're SWAC school or out of conference school. We got to be able to just play football the way we're capable of playing, so that we know where we are each game, going into the next game. And again, if we're not good, coming into one game, and then we got to fix. We know we got to fix something, going into the next game. Texas Commerce, again, up and coming good football team. But I tell you this, I'd rather play them for homecoming rather than playing FAM for homecoming.
I worry, because we gonna see it almost at the end of the season now, so we'll be down there.
Hey, and you guys take after that, after homecoming, you guys take that trip to Inner Bend, Mississippi, and you play deep down in the Delta, and then turnabout is fair play, Coach. Last year, you went to Florida A&M twice.
Yep.
Hopefully, they get to come to Prairie View twice this year.
Well, I don't know about them coming twice, but again, I plan on wanting to have that championship game here. That's for sure.
And so you got Florida A&M, Coach. I believe we may even be at that game, covering that game with Florida A&M and Prairie View. I was at the game, the SWAC championship, and they were very difficult circumstances to play under. But Coach Simmons' teams was focused and ready to go, and you guys took it on the chin pretty good that game. I don't think there was a lack of effort by your team. Matter of fact, I was very impressed by how your team played to the bitter end under those very difficult playing conditions, and you know what I mean if you were there.
Absolutely.
What are your will that be a revenge game when they come back and play at home? You guys play FAMU at home?
You got done right. There ain't gonna be a revenge game. They kicked out foot twice.
I love it. Coach got that circle. Coach got that circle, boy.
Coach, you from Florida, right?
I am from Florida, yeah. What did
I
that mean? What are you saying, man?
You know a lot. You know the boys know you down there.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
They do. So I hope that know me even more, you know what I'm saying, at the end of that game, if we're in position to, to play these guys, and win that game. Yeah, I told you I'm gonna speak my truth. We owe these dudes, man. Coach Simmons, that's my dude, man. I said, dude, you didn't have to do me like that, man. You didn't do me like that. He's like, Bob, hey, I just put him in position.
That's why they need to. It's time to move that Prairie View and Tech Southern game, because when he win the first one, then you can. If you slip against Southern or Grambling, you still be in the driver's seat. Coach, you remember that year? Not last year, but the year before. Mm-hmm. All you had to do was beat Mississippi Valley. All Texas Southern had to do was beat A&M, which they had a 17 point. And all Southern had to do was win their game.
Wasn't it crazy?
Like everybody lost. And Southern walked to the championship. Played miserable against Jackson State.
I was so hurt, dude.
I was very sick, Coach.
I was so hurt. Again, that's why I always tell the guys, don't take nobody for granted. I don't care what their records are. Pine Bluff or whatever. I know Coach Hamp gonna have these guys ready to play. And again, you should be ready to play every game, no matter who they are. Again, go out and showcase your talent, to the point where, again, as Jimmy Johnson always said, we're supposed to beat that team. We're supposed to beat them pretty good. But now the teams that we're not supposed to beat, you got to go out there and play and show them that, that you are that team that's going to be reckoned with as well for 4 quarters of football. Again, if you come out victorious, again, that's just more gravy for us. That's more points for us, the more accolades for yourself, and again, I always tell my dudes, at some point, in order for you to be as good as you want to be and for your team to look as good as you want to look, at the end of the day, you got to go out there and make plays, because these are what the plays, the numbers, this is what gets you looked at by these scouts, and I try to throw that in their face every day at practice. Hey, man, you ain't making a play. Hey, you ain't did nothing all day. Okay, let's come back tomorrow. Let's try to make, more plays or better plays than what you did the previous day. Because again, at the end of the day, if I can just continue to get them to understand, like, I got to make plays. And if I can get that instilled into these guys, these young men, I really believe that it's going to take them a long way as far as performing, to the point where, we can go out there and compete with anybody this season.
Now, that running back from Mississippi Valley, he actually transferred to you the next year, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
He was a beast. But that's what Dion would say all the time. Don't come to practice. Come to practice to be great.
That's it.
I think that's a nice analogy that Dion says.
Yeah, Prime is right. Shoot, that's a Hall of Fame. If you don't listen to him, and you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, in the round out the season, I think you have the toughest schedule
Yeah.
ending the season.
Yeah.
And this will determine, I think this will not only factor in whether or not you'll be playing into the SWAC championship, but it'll also be determined who will compete in the SWAC championship if for some reason you guys aren't. You guys play Alcorn at home, and then you guys travel to the predicted East champion, Alabama State. And just talk us about finishing the season with those two very tough games, one at home, one on the road.
Yeah, very, very tough. And again, another team, Alcorn, that we always have problems with, whether it be there or whether it be at home. And again, the last time they played us here at home, they won on a reverse, and to secure a win. Alabama State, we went down the wire with them, last year here at home, and now we're going to their place this year. I'm pretty sure they have upgraded. Alcorn got guys coming back, from last year. It's going to be it is a tough schedule, but I really believe that it is a schedule that we can have fun with. And I say fun meaning that we gotta win. We gotta do our due diligence, on and off the field. Field meaning get in the study room, study what you're supposed to do. Let's take it out on the field, get the practice work in, and then take it into Saturday's game or whatever game that they be on, and we're gonna be okay for 4 quarters of football. Because again, if you're not playing 4 quarters of football with any of these schools that are on this schedule, things can go bad, in my opinion.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to clear something up for the listeners because we had for people watching. We had a gentleman make a comment and say only the West Side games count. No, when you play the East, they count. They count.
Too. That's the crazy part about it. Because if you play on the East, you got to win. Again, that's I guess that's where it comes in, like whether or not you're gonna be able to host at your facility or not at the end of the year.
Absolutely, Coach, and I want to appreciate you coming on and talking with us, Coach. I didn't know how long you want to go, but I want to let you know, Coach, you had a record, Coach. You've been on here an hour with us, Coach, and I appreciate that. For a pretty quiet guy, we've had an outstanding, sensational conversation. But I have to ask you this, Coach. We briefly talked about Jackson State in the year Deion Sanders last year when he won the SWAC championship. Yeah. I want you to answer this question honestly. Mm-hmm. With you, Coach Disman, and Coach Robinson, Coach E-Rob, would y'all get those opportunities if Prime hadn't had the success he had?
Absolutely not. I don't need Chris to tell me that. I don't need Eddie to tell me that. I don't need no reporter to tell me. I'm gonna tell you that because trust me, what he did when he came in and transcended, this SWAC conference, I thought was huge, and it's funny because that's what when I first got to Texas Southern J. This is what I was trying to get a lot of former NFL guys to do the exact same thing. Guys, get out there. So, I went in because I volunteered the first 4 years at Texas Southern without pay. But again, that's how much I've grown to love the game. And I'm like, everybody's like, how you like it? So good, guys. If y'all can just get in, give the knowledge. I mean, you ain't got to be a head coach. Just give that knowledge back to these young men, on this level. Again, where a lot of all this, Hall of Fame and great players started from, with Alcorn, with Jackson State, so again, I really tried to get these guys to come back and do it. Then to finally see him do it, oh my goodness, it was an eye opener to me, and I was so glad that because I knew what he was going to bring to this league. I really hope, and when he left, that it was going to continue to get bigger, which I think it will. I think it will. But again, just for him to come in and start it to where it is today, I really appreciate him. And especially when he came down to the camp, and to my mega camp and a lot of other black colleges mega camp, and showed his face, and players want, again, not only want to just come out and see who he was, but he took his time out, came down. Again, he's still recruiting even at that particular time, before he left. It was mind-boggling to me, that the things that he continues to do, the people he continues to bring. But again, he is Deion Sanders, and nobody does it better.
Coach, the reason why I bring that up is I'm a guy that got into HBCU football because of Coach Prime. He brought me to the game, right? And I think sometimes what he has done, what he did, has been a lot of times the last couple of years been understated or there's been an attempt by people who are SWAC traditionalists to sweep what he has done and what he did under the rug. And I'm so happy, Coach, that you can be what I would consider to be authentic and honest about his contribution and make a what I would consider a very salient point about what he actually did, not only for SWAC, but for HBCU football as a whole, Coach. And I want to thank you for being candid and honest about that.
Absolutely. Again, I mean, if it wasn't the case, believe me, I'll be the first to say so. But again, he came in, did what he had to do, and did what he said he was going to do, and he proved it, and it happened, and made the conference better. Again, and it's not anything against other coaches that have been here in the conference. Again, we have some great coaches in this conference, man, that can coach football, that know how to teach and mentor these young men. And that's what Deion was all about. Again, bring these guys in, get into notoriety, so the HBCUs can get up on a higher level by these looked at by these scouts, and you guys seen you seen him get teed off about guys not being looked at by these scouts, still not, even with him being there, not coming in, looking at these guys like they should. Which again, who better to evaluate talent, than Deion? Again, been there, done it. Phenomenal athlete, phenomenal person, a man of God. He's did it all. And I think that's part of what he was more upset about. Again, that our kids are not getting looked at like other university and other conferences across the country.
Well, Coach, I just want to say, and I know we're about to close out, but I'm gonna say, first of all, Coach, I appreciate you being here, because you are SWAC now, Coach. You've been here a long time. So you honorary SWAC. I don't care what nobody say, you honorary SWAC. And you can also tell these young folks, Coach, that Deion Florida State Seminole never beat your Miami Hurricanes. So that you can tell them that too, Coach. You can let them know that.
I can tell them that, yeah. Because Michael Irvin handled him. And again, we had a Hall of Fame on that side too, baby. We just got another one, inducted this past weekend.
I got you.
Absolutely.
I got you. Yeah. Well, good. As long as you put that honorary on that, all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You honorary SWAC, Coach. You honorary.
I appreciate
it. Man, again, Coach, thank you, man. Like I said, since I've met you, you've been nothing but humble. I've idolized the way you walk and the way you talk and how you handle yourself. You've been a professional on and off the field, and definitely those young men, they probably know what they have in you, and continue to help these black young men, not just on the field but off the field as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you guys. Man.
And tell my boys I say hello. They're on your staff.
I would definitely do that.
Jackson and my man, the wide receiver coach. He might be the running back coach.
Yeah, I would definitely. Marcus Bradley?
Not Bradley, but my other guy. He come from UCLA. Played at UCLA.
So we got offense. We got Weed. We got Bradley. We got Coach Green. Who came from Alabama. Yeah. Tell them all I said hello, man. I would definitely do that, Coach. I would definitely do that.
All right. Hey, thank you again, Coach. We appreciate it. And maybe we can get you again after you win the West.
Well, we gonna see him at the State Fair Classic.
Oh yeah, we will. We certainly will, Coach. We'll see you at the State Fair Classic.
September 23rd, Monday.
Looking forward to it, guys.
Okay.
All right, thank you again, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Oh man, that was good.
Man, that was a sensational interview, Coach.
He's one special person, Coach. Really, really. He is. He's man of God, and he walked peaceful, Coach. He's always been a laid back guy. You know what I mean? Always been approachable, always soft spoken. But he came out tonight, though, Coach Campbell.
Oh yeah.
You know,
hey, you got a way of bringing it out of him, Coach.
He gave it to us, man. He gave it to us.
Hey,
huh? Go ahead.
He sounds pretty confident. He sounds really comfortable with what he has on his roster at quarterback and possibly at other positions as well. So, Coach, he's a very relaxed coach this time of year, if I do say so myself.
You mean to tell me Green ain't called in yet? Where no PV imposters at?
No, hey, listen, my nephew Lionel is out there. I see him out there. I see a couple of other PV guys. Hey, man, I put it out there. They found us. They were looking on Scotty's channel. They came over here. We appreciate everybody that found us over here on Rocky's channel. Like I say, please subscribe. We're always doing a simulcast. We're building this channel up. So please tell them. So, yeah, ain't that a PV guy? Hey, man, I need the PV guys. Rocky, we going to take any calls or we get down?
Yeah. We're going to take some. Let me get the call up.
I need my PV now. PV folks, see, let me explain something to you again. Right here on the HBCU Coach's Corner with Johnny Cole, you had your head football coach tell you about your team. You didn't hear about it. Wasn't no rumors. He didn't say, I don't know who the quarterback is. He broke down each and every quarterback. He told him what he was looking for. He talked about his offensive coordinator. He talked about, hey, we are reloading. He talked about what he did in the portal and what kind of players he's looking for. So, guys, I'm trying to tell you, you don't get that content anywhere else but right here. So I need you guys now. I need all these PV guys to call in. So now I got a bone to pick with them because Coach talking about it's some get back against FAMU. Now wait a minute now, Coach. I let him say, I'm a Bubba McDowell fan. Hey man, I'm a Hurricane guy. I'm for the culture. But wait a minute now, you got a little bit too comfortable talking about get back against FAMU now. Wait a minute now.
Hey Coach, he didn't stutter about that either.
Didn't even stutter, man.
He meant that I want to say he said, you damn right.
Oh, man, listen. Man, I heard, man, listen. That was a little bit of that Miami Hurricane arrogance I heard coming out of his mouth right there, Coach.
Well, you know, Coach, when you think about it, just think about last year, Coach. They went on, y'all invited them to Prairie View, to Tallahassee for homecoming, Coach. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. And then you put 45 on them, Coach.
That's what we're supposed to do. It ain't disrespect when you come down to anybody that come to Tallahassee go get that same treatment. We bring you in as a friend, we kick you out as a stranger. That's what we do down in Tallahassee. That's what we do.
You got him fired up, Coach. You got him fired. Look, you running the Prairie View fans away, Coach.
Well, listen, Coach. Listen, the Prairie View fans should be excited that their coach got. Man, listen, because I'm gonna tell you what I like about Coach. What Coach did. I told everybody last year, and Coach Simmons did an interview at the beginning of the season. And he said, listen, I'm telling you, we ain't thinking about nothing else but that Celebration Bowl. My fans are saying it. I know it. And he didn't run from it. I like when coaches understand it. Because if you embrace that, that actually takes pressure off your team. Because you're not scared of the challenge of being great. Great teams have to accept the challenge of being great. So I like that Coach McDowell has that mentality. And I think that's for a successful season. Now, they're not going to beat FAMU, and they'll come back down there and play as a Tallahassee. But the West, hey, man, y'all better be worried in the West, man. Them boys ready to play.
Wow.
Yeah, Coach. I really want to get a chance to see what they look like on August 31st, Coach. I'll be able to watch them next Saturday as I am getting prepared for the OBC, and so I'll be looking forward to watching, see what they have, because Coach, he got that old grin when we started talking about quarterback. He wasn't rubbing his head. He was like, "Oh gosh, I'm not sure what we got." He had that old grin on his face, Coach.
He said we got 3 of them that can do it. Basically, they can do it. He said it don't even matter. Let them just do this, and whoever is gonna perform at the top.
And listen, that wide receiver room, it has some playmakers in that room. Yeah. They got a couple of guys that Phil Steele has put on his all SWAC team.
I think that's Savage kid, right? If they could, I'm gonna be honest with you. Last year, if they could consistently get that ball to the Savage kid, I believe that's his name, then he could have done some really special things last year but they had trouble getting him the ball. So if they got a guy that can get him the ball, they can be really special. But I'm sticking with my pick, and I can't wait till we get Coach Thomas on next. Hopefully we can schedule him here coming up. We're efforting to get Coach Thomas on, but we will have Coach Trey Oliver on tomorrow. Guys, we don't have any calls coming in, so guys, if you guys are ready to wrap, I'm certainly getting out of here before 11 o'clock Eastern. I'm sure it would be a great benefit to Coach Campbell's beauty regimen, you know.
Well, look, I'm ready to go as well. Got a day's work tomorrow. Got some things to get ready. I got a lot of little things about getting ready to put my travel schedule together, or at least finish it. And mixing that with the things that I do around here in Arizona, as far as repping the high school football games as well. So I'm going to be real, very busy this fall, but I definitely will be here on Tuesday nights with the HBCU Coaches Corner. And if I got to catch it out of town, or we got to do some out of town where we all get together, we'll all be together on, what game is that, Coach?
The MEAC Championship in Atlanta, right?
Yes, sir. That's on the 23rd and 24th, right?
Yeah. It's on. I think they play on the 24th.
Play on the 24th.
We'll probably do a pre-show. Even if we have to do it in the hotel room, or we'd like to do it in the press box, but if we have to do it in the hotel room, we'll do it in the hotel room. We'll do it wherever we got to do it, guys, on site, whatever.
And that's the two games. That's Alabama State.
No. That's FAMU and Norfolk State.
At the MEAC Challenge in Atlanta.
Well, I'm gonna try.
And then the following week is the Orange Blossom class, Alabama State and North Carolina Central.
Right. So I'm gonna call the head coach at Norfolk and see if we can't get an interview with him on that Friday. A little interview with him on that Friday, and check with Coach Cozy to see what we can do out there, and we're gonna go from there.
All right, we definitely. Hey, Florida A&M faithful. We trying to get Coach Cozy. We got all kinds of back channels working.
Yeah, we're gonna get him on here. We're gonna get him on here. Absolutely, we're gonna get him on here. I'm working on it, and like I said, I got to make one more phone call, but we're gonna get him on here. And I'm just gonna say something to the Prairie View fans. Okay, let me tell you guys something. It's a heavy lift when you try to go for that championship. So I'm just letting you know, we have done it. I know what it feels like. So I'm just trying to tell you guys, you better be ready for that heavy lift. And what you got to do, and I'm going to say this to the Prairie View fans, you got to support your team, which means you got to come to the games. You got to make that a home field advantage. Because I'm going to tell you something, and I want you Prairie View folks to know that. Fam, you got a lot of people in Dallas and Houston. A lot of people. Don't make us take that thing and turn it orange green down there. Just letting you know. Letting you know. Support your team.
Hey, he said, Edwin Moore says, thick 36, don't go to bed early.
Man, thick 36, wait for me to go to bed, man. You better watch what you're saying there, boy.
All right, Coach, take us out.
Oh, man. Look, guys, hey, key in on the HBCU Go TV football season. And my opportunity, I hope that you can tune in to that. It's a channel just for historically Black colleges and universities. So let's tune into it like we done the BET. Curtis Simmons, he's the CEO. Byron Allen is the owner. Charlie Neal is our lead analyst. All Fortune 500 guys, all guys that believe in Blackness. So support the HBCU Go football season, basketball season, volleyball season, baseball season. We want to support that. Again, very, very important year to vote. Can't leave this channel without saying vote, vote, vote. Kamala Harris has chosen her vice president. I'll look for the debates to happen. Guys, I love you. Don't get down on yourself, man. Life is great, man. Believe me, you always have it better than somebody else. So if you feel yourself at the end of the rope, tie a knot, hold on tight, because ain't nobody bad like you.